Welcome back to the gun dungeon, guys. Got a little different video for you today. Today we're going to be putting buffalo bore ammunition up against Underwood ammunition. Now I got these as close as I could possibly get them, but I will say the buffalo bore is quite a bit more expensive than the Underwood. And here we have the 9mm plus P Outdoorsman, which is a 147 grain bullet, advertised at 1100 feet per second. And 9mm 147 grain hard cast, exact same bullet, advertised at 1100 feet per second. This may be a very boring test if they're identical, but we will know if this is worth the extra cost. So here we have the exact same bullets in 357 Magnum, 180 grain hard cast gas check. Both of these are 180 grain hard cast gas checked. 1400 feet per second, 1400 feet per second. And lastly, 10mm 220 grainers. This is the Outdoorsman here as well. 1200 feet per second for 220 grain, 1200 feet per second, 220 grain. So we will know the actual velocities because I have the chronograph set up here, so we'll get true velocities from them. From the 357 Magnum, we're going to be shooting from a 4 5/8 length barrel. Strangely enough, that's the longest barrel that I have in 357 Magnum. We're going to be shooting from the full-size XDM 10mm, and the 9mm is going to be coming out of the full-size CZ75B stainless. So, chronograph set up. We have a remolded block in the front, and I have 2 blocks behind it for a total of 3 blocks. These are hard cast, heavy hard cast. They may go the full length all the way through. I don't know. But I think I have enough gel here to catch them. Without further ado, let's get to shooting. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the 9mm, and I'm going to shoot Underwood first, then buffalo bore with all 3 of these calibers. Everything will be Underwood first, then buffalo bore. So we're going to start out with the 147 grain Underwood ammunition and the CZ. I'm only going to put 1 shot per round into the blocks. It's going to be 6 shots. It's going to get a little cloudy in there anyway. So here we go. First shot, 9mm. All right, 1,112 feet per second, a little higher than advertised. And there's our wound track on the bottom there. Not a lot to speak of for wound track, but this is a hard cast bullet. So we're trucking through all the way through that block into this old dirty junk block, and all the way through it. Then there we go. We are halfway through the 3rd block, right there on the bottom. So this bullet went a little 40, we're gonna call it 40 1/8 into the 3rd block. That's a lot of penetration for a 9mm, guys. And like I said, that was the Underwood. Let's try the buffalo bore. Even with a lot of states going to constitutional carry these days, there's still a lot of really good reasons to have a concealed carry permit. Me personally, I keep mine updated because I go state to state quite often. Reciprocity is nice. Plus, anytime that I buy a gun, if I don't use my concealed carry permit when I buy it, I always get the 3-day delay. So I keep my concealed carry up to date, and if you don't have one, the training is great to have anyways. Go check out Legal Heat. There is a link below. Also, use the promo code listed below. You get a little discount. You got to check out Legal Heat. $1,096, a little bit less than the Underwood. There's our wound track. It's going to be the top one there. Tracks look exactly the same. Strangely enough, guys, this one went all the way through all 3 blocks. Maybe I can show you the exit here a little better. So you can see that right there's the line. This is the 2nd block. Follow it all the way, and right there is the streak going out of this block. So, slower, but penetrated deeper. Maybe that Underwood would have went all the way out had it not hit the table there too, because it looks like it did drag along the table. Maybe even scoot across it a couple times here. So maybe that slowed it down, I don't know. But that's the results we're getting. Let's go to the 357 Magnum Underwood ammunition first. All right, 1,230 feet per second. And I did a very bad job on shot placement here. I put it on the left side of the top 9mm shot, but hopefully you can still see it. The wound track's a little bit, you can see it here a little bit. It's a little bit thicker than the 9mm. Still nothing like a hollow point would do, but that's what we got. And it goes all the way through that block, all the way through this junky old dirty block, and into the third block, and there it sits. The back of the bullet looks like the back. Maybe it tumbled in there somewhere. Right at 45.5 inches of penetration. That's pretty good. That was the Underwood. Let's try the buffalo bore now. Okay, we may have a little bit of a difference here in this buffalo bore, 1377. So, let's take a little look here. This one is going to be the second from bottom wound track that you see right there. Pretty good looking wound track for a hard cast. And this one trucks on, and exits the block. We have failed to capture a buffalo bore bullet, and both the 9 and 10mm have went through 3 16-inch gel blocks. Well, let's see if that remains the same with 10mm. So let's go ahead and load up an Underwood 10mm and put that into some gel. All right, 1,173 feet per second. Closest wound track to you here, that is that 10mm. Not a bad looking wound track, honestly. These look a lot better than what from the 357 and the 10mm. For hard cast bullets, these look a lot better than what I was expecting. Then you get here to the second block, and she just pencil lines, gone-dy. Plumb out the end of the third block. It didn't come out the side. You can see the line come down here, starts to swoop, comes out right at the bottom of that block. So, we didn't catch an Underwood 10. Probably not going to catch a buffalo bore 10. But let's put one in here and see how it does. (1,146), so slightly slower than the Underwood, but to be real, all these shots within one shot or the other velocity wise, except for maybe that 357. That one was a little bit higher. But that top track right there, we're getting a little mixed up in here now. I told you we would. Looks like a good little bloom right there in the wound track. Probably the best looking wound track of them all so far. And we're trucking on through the block, on through this block, and of course, on through the third block. I don't know about you guys, but that is pretty impressive penetration from all of these rounds, really. We've caught one 9mm and one 357 Magnum. Of the 6 shots, we've caught 2. The other 4 have went through all 3 blocks. That's pretty impressive. Well, there you have it, guys. This is buffalo bore versus Underwood. The Underwood ammunition is quite a bit more affordable than the buffalo bore. Neither one of them are cheap, but the buffalo bore was probably 50% or better higher than the Underwood ammunition. We did have higher velocities with the 357 Magnum in this, but if my memory serves me correctly, I think the 9mm and the 10mm served up less velocity with the buffalo bore, although we didn't catch any buffalo bore bullets in these gel blocks. So why that happened, your guess is as good as mine. So the question is which one would I go with? I think I'm going to stick with Underwood just because of the price factor. I don't think, even if the buffalo bore is a little bit more powerful, which 2 of the 3 rounds that we compared here, it wasn't. They did penetrate more, but they wasn't necessarily more powerful. But I don't think that extra little bit of penetration is worth the cost. And I'm going to also mention that all of the buffalo bore cases are brass, and all of the Underwood ammunition cases are nickel. I like the nickel. I think it looks prettier, assuming. So I'm probably going to stick with Underwood. All of their hard cast bullets were also coated. Maybe that served a factor as well. Not sure. The buffalo bore were not. So that's what I got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, stay tuned.